I come in loud and I don't care.
You do come in loud.
Well, yeah, that's my MO, modus operandi. That's my mode of operation.
Thank you for translating your line for me.
How do you gut someone? Always trust my gut.
Hello and welcome to Gutted. I'm Aleece.
And I'm Tony, and we're here to spill our guts about horror films.
We are now past our award season for 2024, but we just can't let go.
And there are too many horror movies that have been snubbed. And we ain't just talking about Nosferatu, The Substance, or Alien Romulus. So we decided to hold our very first Gutted Awards for snubbed horror.
Or the G.A.S.H Awards.
The G.A.S.H.
The G.A.S.H.
I put films Gutted horror.
What? We have many categories. We actually had like 27 at first, and I whittled them down to 22. Some are normal categories that you might see on ballots, such as for the Oscars, and some are made up by us.
Well, how many categories are there in the Oscars?
I don't know, like 23?
23, and we're doing 22. That's actually one less. That means our award ceremony is going to be shorter than the actual Oscars.
And we don't have a song and dance routine. We don't have like montages. We're also not going to have an in memoriam, but if we did, it would definitely include Tony Todd and Michelle Trachtenberg and Olivia Hussey. So snubbed on all accounts. Oscars.
Cool. Was that our rehearsal?
No, that was just it.
Oh.
I feel like I had some good comments about the in memoriam.
We could still use it.
I covered it.
That's the power of editing.
Power of editing, which is not a category that we've included.
Best editing
We
award.
actually snubbed the editing category completely.
It would have gone to us.
It would have gone to Strange Darling. And I added some others.
Not us?
Like the movie Us? Or like
no,
us
like
as
us
people?
just now.
Because we edit things. Yeah. We haven't edited a movie yet, though.
We have so many jump cuts. G.A.S.H.
Yeah, G.A.S.H.
That's like if you've been cut. So that is something that might happen in a horror movie.
Yeah, G.A.S.H. and Gutted. I shouldn't say the G.A.S.H. Awards because awards is already in the acronym. I should say the G.A.S.H. ceremonies. I don't want to be redundant like scuba gear. You know, people are like, oh, apparatus is gear. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. I'm not a diver.
So Aleece, tell me, how is this episode going to work?
Okay, so very similarly to our episode that we did last year during Oscar season, where we kind of like had a bunch of stuff in a bucket like this one.
That was our Oscar Showdown Awards for 2023.
Yeah. And that did not really include movies from 2023. It included all horror nominated Oscar films. And we, I think, pitted them against each other. And we had like an Oscars Golden Island sponsored by Gulden's Mustard.
That is our format for a showdown. That is when we use the pumpkin or the cauldron, select things at random and say we're going to choose either this one or that one.
And we've misplaced the cauldron.
Yeah, we have the pumpkin instead. But we're going to kind of do that format. But instead of like a this or that, it's going to be whoever chooses the category will be able to select who the winner is for that category.
Because we are not a big enough podcast yet to actually submit these nominees to our listeners or viewers for deciding the results. So we're deciding.
Like you said, they are categories that are decided by us and the winners are decided by us.
Yeah. And like, since we're just like a committee of two people plus a cat who can't really use her paws to vote, then this is really the only way to find out who wins.
So there's a little bit of chance and randomness, because if I were to choose a category, say for best supporting actor in a horror movie, my decision might be different than your decision. So that's how it's going to work. And we're just going to go with it and we'll see how this works out.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
That's it. In a pumpkin shell.
Okay. And as always, we try to keep the spoilers to a minimum, or at least give a warning if a spoiler needs to be talked about.
But who are we kidding? We probably will spoil some things, but we will give you maybe warning by mentioning the movie's title. And if you haven't seen it, then I don't know, cover your ears.
Sorry in advance if we do happen to spoil a movie for you. These are movies that came out last year, so maybe you didn't get to all of them.
We're still trying to get to the Radleys. Like I really want to see that one, but I think it's on Tubi now.
It's finally made it to Tubi, so it has arrived.
I don't want to see it on Tubi though. I want to see it sans commercials.
I don't mind the commercials. It's fine. It reminds me of watching something on cable back in the day.
I know, but it takes me out of it.
But that's how we watched so many horror movies when we were younger. So anyways, okay. Before we start our award ceremony, I had a question for you, Aleece.
Yes.
Thinking about the Oscars, I know it seems like a long time ago now. It's been
several weeks.
And yes, we have been a little bit silent recently.
Busy.
So I had a couple of questions. We both watched the Academy Awards this year, and there definitely were some snubs. But I want to know, what are your top 2 snubs for the Academy Awards?
Easy. In fact, I had this question locked and loaded too. So obviously, the biggest snub within the nominated Oscar films to me was Demi Moore. For The Substance. I may have had my gripes with the ending of The Substance, but didn't negate the fact that I thought that Demi Moore's performance was worthy of winning an Oscar. And I was sad.
Yeah, I was a little sad about that as well. I didn't watch that many of the films this year. I know you watched a few of them.
I watched quite a few.
You have your ballot with you now. So for those watching, she just pulled out her ballot.
I'm prepared. I watched Anora, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez, The Substance, and Wicked. Yeah, Anora was cute. Fine. Give it Best Picture. But I really felt like Demi Moore not getting the award was a huge snub.
Yeah, I agree. And how about for your second largest snub?
My second place snub goes to Jaron Blaschke, the cinematographer of Nosferatu. Snubbed. It's amazing cinematography.
That's funny because those 2 movies did not win many awards in our best of episode.
No, but okay, I feel like I do remember saying cinematography for Nosferatu, amazing.
Yeah.
Demi Moore for The Substance, amazing.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't enjoy them wholeheartedly overall as movies, I enjoyed those 2 singular elements a lot.
Yeah.
So snubbed.
So that's what we're talking about today. All of the other, not only snubbed performances and people who need recognition, but snubbed categories. Okay.
Snubbed categories.
Yeah. Potato agrees.
She wholeheartedly agrees. Why isn't there a category called Best Scene Songs
or
of the
Best
Year?
Cat Yowl in a movie?
Best cat jump scares. That should be a category.
Potato has joined us for this award ceremony because she has a lot to say. She has a lot of opinions about these matters. She's
really excited for a category coming up called the Best Good Buddy Award for...
Spoiler on the categories. They're supposed to be sort of a surprise.
You don't know what that means. Best Good Buddy is something that she might be particularly interested in. So you don't know what that means.
These are categories we made up. Some are existing in the actual Academy Awards, but there were some others that we were just like, we couldn't really think of nominees or didn't want to put maybe as much thought into it. So,
or we just felt like frauds. Like we had Best Sound at one point. We're like, who are we kidding? We don't know sound that well.
Yeah, just whatever is the most action packed. So whenever there's a category for sound, I just look at what was the biggest blockbuster. So like, yeah, it makes sense. Dune won, right?
For a while when I had these categories, I had one nominee for Best Sound. I put In a Violent Nature and I was like, should I put some others in there?
Yeah, whoever did the sound on that had a really great way of crunching leaves.
Those crunching leaves, so audible. So
let's get into it. We have our award ceremony starting. We didn't prepare a song and dance, unfortunately, but maybe, Potato will do a little yowl
ditty.
Or something.
We'll probably do a little ditty.
Sorry, Potato, I'm putting you on the spot like that.
Yeah, she's got it planned.
All right. Should we begin?
Yes.
These categories are coming totally at random. So we might get some of the like best picture type categories.
Yeah.
Our best picture we already talked about. So we have another category.
That's true. We already did talk about our best picture because we had like our top 10 best movies, best horror movies of 2024 back in January. So best picture's not in here. We have different categories other than best picture.
Okay, so Aleece has grabbed the pumpkin that has our categories and nominees, and she is going to decide one at random. Potato is out of here. She's done with this.
All right. Anyway. She's itching herself in the light. Cool. All right. The first category that Tony will choose the winner from is Best Breakout Guts.
Whoa.
This is a made-up award. Actually, it might be a real category in like other awards.
Maybe like the
ceremonies.
MTV Movie Awards.
Yeah. So this is for the first feature for a writer, director, or a leading or supporting actor role. It doesn't, like if the actor was in like TV stuff or short films, doesn't count. It would be like this actor's first major feature film role, or this writer director's first feature film project.
Okay, so this is like a combination of directors and actors in the same category?
It is.
Wow, okay. You wouldn't see that in the Oscars.
You don't see that very often. So that's how we are.
All right,
standalone.
let's do it. Let's see what happens here.
You have 6 nominees in this category.
Wow, okay.
We have writer-director Ariane Louis for Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person.
Ooh, okay.
Writer-director Jason Yu for Sleep. Writer-director Arkasha Stevenson for The First Omen. Writer-director Chris Nash in A Violent Nature.
Wow.
Actor Rupert Turnbull, who played Isaac in Daddy's Head.
Huh.
And actor Dan Huff, who played Ant in Speak No Evil.
All right. Dan Huff, who played Ant in Speak No Evil.
You loved him because he did like the scissors, like, huh.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And the winner for our first G.A.S.H award category. Sorry, I'm like slow rolling.
You're
this.
nervous.
I know. I'm so nervous. This is going to go to, wait, can I admit something?
Oh, what do you want to admit?
I did not see Sleep.
Oh, that's right.
So this is a situation just like the Academy Awards where some of the Academy members admitted to not seeing movies like The Brutalist or Dune for whatever reason.
Too long.
And I wonder that sometimes, like, who is the Academy? Like, I know it's like SAG members and then also like industry people.
Just anybody.
But yeah, the Academy Awards seem to be random anyways. Like whatever you think is supposed to win doesn't
So
usually
in true voter form, Tony has not seen all of the nominees.
At least this is full transparency.
Yeah.
You have seen it. I have not seen it.
I forgot that
if
you
we
hadn't
had not seen it, you wouldn't have put it as the nominees. Okay, full disclosure here. Aleece came up with all the nominees. I might have had a little bit of input on some of them, but overall you came up with the nominees. So I'm just going to roll with this. And I am going to give our first G.A.S.H award goes to director-writer Arkasha Stevenson for The First Omen.
Well
All
deserved.
right.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
I actually thought that would be your choice.
So congratulations to Arkasha Stevenson, The First Omen. I hope she makes The Second Omen.
Yes.
Or The First Omen Part 2.
I like Second Omen. I like the idea that there's a second Omen happening.
How about The Second First Omen?
The second First Omen?
Yeah. Yes, great debut, great film, a surprise film because that one had the opportunity to be a real dud, and it. I'm just being a remake of a.
Remakes in general have the potential to be a real dud. However, the trailer for The First Omen was very standout. So I think we were just hoping that it would not let us down, and it did not. Which
actually, The First Omen received our award for the best trailer during our Best of 2024 and Aleece's Golden Gut Award. So
yeah,
that
the trailer did receive my Golden Gut.
That means that was her favorite thing in horror of 2024 was the trailer for The First Omen.
It really was. I could watch that over and over again.
Forget watching the movie. Just watch the trailer. The movie is pretty good too.
They're both really good. Impressive. I was pretty surprised that this was her first feature film. It just seems so flawless.
Maybe she had a lot of practice in like made for TV movies or music videos or something else.
Yeah.
A lot of short films. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. That was our first award. Let's move right along. We have 22 of these to go.
21.
Do you have any like Conan O'Brien jokes that you want to say in between like selecting awards?
No.
All right. Well, only Conan can do Conan.
Only
so.
Conan can do Conan.
Yeah. I did enjoy him in the Academy Awards. I think a lot of comments I saw on social media said that he wasn't funny.
What?
But
How dare
also
they?
it's like social media, so I don't know. You can't. I don't know. You know.
What are you expecting?
Yeah. Usually,
I mean, he really only gets the first monologue, and then the rest of the time is like spent for awards. So it's a tall order to host. Anyway, I thought he was fine. That was great.
Okay, so next for the Gutted Awards for Snubbed Horror, we have the category. Oh man, I wish that I had gotten this one.
Sorry.
Best One-Liner. And the nominees are I Have Cookies from the movie Founders Day. I'm not saying these in the way that they were said, but I'll try. And Of Course I'm a Bloody Doctor.
That's your
from
favorite
the
one.
Speak No Evil remake. Hey, this is not my choice. This is your choice. Next we have I Intend To from
I
Maxine.
Intend To.
Yes. And Maxine gets 2 nominations. Wow. I hope she doesn't split the vote.
I know. She might.
I will not accept a life I do not deserve.
I will not accept a life I do not deserve.
From Maxine. Yes, you're a lot better at this than I am. And from the movie Long Legs, ya dirty flirty old angel bitch. Did I do that right?
You dirty, flirty old angel bitch.
Yeah, very good. Okay. And from The Substance, Control Yourself.
It's more like, control yourself.
Mine was more sad. It's like, I don't know, some like really bad like
Ian
Dungeons
McKellen.
and Dragons type fantasy movie.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. My acting skills are awful.
No.
All right. From the movie Long Legs, we're still getting through these
You got this one.
nominees.
You got this long legs one.
Mommy, Daddy.
That was
From
pretty
Long
good.
Legs,
That's good.
yeah. And then from The Coffee Table,
That's kind of
that wasn't the quote. It wasn't potato meowing. That wasn't part of it. From The Coffee Table, this glass is unbreakable, but in Spanish because the movie was in Spanish.
Yeah, he was like, irrompible. Yeah.
Definitely don't want to believe that guy. All right.
He's a salesman.
Here are your choices for the best one-liner. Man, this is such a good award.
Okay, and the Founders Day one was, I have cookies. It was like really frantic. We're like, did he just say he
Might
has
have made the
cookies?
movie. Yeah.
Oh, I laughed really hard during that line. That's a good one. I know Tony loves, of course I'm a bloody doctor. He
Yeah,
loves
come on.
saying this over and over again. He also loves saying I intend to from Maxine. I did really enjoy Nicolas Cage's Mommy, Daddy. It was so weird. And I just kept wondering, did he improv that? Was that in the script? I do like Margaret Qualley's delivery of control yourself. It's very like, oof, impactful, but it's gonna go to Kiernan Shipka's you dirty flirty old angel bitch from Long Legs. When she said that, that's a line that echoed in my head for like days afterward.
Snubbed.
Snubbed.
Speak
Kiernan
no evil.
Shipka. What?
My choice was snubbed.
Okay, Tony was
That's how this game works. It's
Tony's
like your
pissed.
choice is going to get snubbed on top of like the
Yeah.
category.
We're just gonna be
and
pissed at each other,
Yeah.
buddy.
yeah. All right. Kiernan Shipka. Congratulations.
Kiernan Shipka, you're welcome, Kiernan.
Yes. I wish that we had some sort of trophy for the G.A.S.H Awards. I don't
Me
know.
too. Dun, 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 dun. We have this like little flat top baby Frankenstein skeleton dude is the G.A.S.H award. I wish we had like an open wound.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good.
That would have been cool.
There will be nobody accepting these awards on behalf of the actors because who are we kidding?
We're accepting them on behalf of the
we are
actors.
accepting these on
You're
behalf.
welcome, all of you.
Potato
actors.
might accept 1 or 2
Should
awards
probably
on
accept
behalf of some of these actors.
All right, category 3. This is actually perfect following up those one-liners. We have the spleen stealer, the
Ooh.
one scene wonders. This award goes to those actors that were really just in one scene of the movie, but really had a great impact.
Okay, I'm ready for this.
Okay. So,
Is it just all comedy or
no, this is a category of 3 nominees, and
that makes it easy.
2 of them Tony has not seen.
Oh, great. Yes, that'll make it easy for me.
All right. In the movie, All You Need Is Death, a little Irish film, Olwen Fuere plays a person named Rita, and she belts out in old Irish language folk song that I really think steals the moment that she's in this movie. And she's really just in this one scene. In a way, it is like a scene song. Anyway, so Olwen Fuere for All You Need Is Death. Kiernan Shipka, who plays Carrie Ann Camera in Long Legs, who just won our last award for her one-liner, "You dirty flirty old angel bitch," and the shaman played by Kim Gyum-soon in the movie Sleep. She had a great scene. She's the shaman. She's trying to find out where the evil presence is in this young couple's home, but she does a great job as the shaman. So, Tony, who's going to get the award?
It seems like this category might be rigged. Or is it rigged? That's not the right word.
It's just a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, okay. The winner is Carrie Ann Camera, Kiernan Shipka, Long Legs.
Kiernan Shipka, who plays Carrie Ann Camera.
So I did that all wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, the winner is Kiernan Shipka, who plays Carrie Ann Camera. She came in hard in that movie.
Yeah.
As someone who is in an institution and then,
She's just in that one scene.
Moving along, next category in our Gutted Award for Snubbed Horror. Our award in 2020-2024 for the...
What?
Huh?
2020-2024?
Yeah. So our number 1 movie of 2024 and the best original feature was Strange Darling.
Mm-hmm.
So for those who haven't seen our top 10 movies of 2024, that's a spoiler. But we have another related category to that, and this is the best franchise installment. So we had a lot of remakes, reboots, and sequels,
Yeah,
prequels,
it's kind of like
all
how,
that stuff.
in the Oscars, they had best original screenplay and best adapted screenplay.
Okay.
We have best original feature and best franchise feature.
The nominees for the best franchise installment are Terrifier 3, which is a sequel, First Omen, which is a prequel, Smile 2, which is a sequel, Speak No Evil, which is a remake, Quiet Place Day 1, a prequel, Maxine, a sequel, and Alien Romulus, which is a sequel prequel.
It's like somewhere in the middle.
It's in the universe of. Okay, so those are your choices.
I enjoyed all of these more than I thought I would. The best franchise installment goes to The First Omen, which is a prequel.
That is the second win and the second nomination for The First Omen, directed by Arkasha Stevenson.
Okay.
Produced by Damien. Yeah, I don't know who produced it, so I'm just going to assume it's Damien.
All right, the next category. Ooh, this is a good one for Tony. Best.
What does that mean? Does that mean that I've seen the movie?
No, it's best art direction / production design.
Yeah.
Which Tony knows this stuff.
For those who don't know, one of the many jobs that I have had in the past is in art department working on movies. Actually, no, I've worked on 1 or 2 movies. So I definitely know a lot about production design.
I would say 1.5 movies because you almost worked on a second movie, but then you're like, I'm busy.
Many shorts and student films and maybe a horror feature that we will get to talk about in the near future.
Your nominees are The Substance. So The Substance gets to be in this category because it was not actually nominated for art direction or production design for the Oscars. The First Omen, Lisa Frankenstein, Alien Romulus, and Beetlejuice. Nosferatu was nominated for an Oscar, so it does not get to be in this category.
Oh, so that's how it works, huh? So the best art direction / production design, we have The Substance with all of its references to movies like The Shining and just like really clean bathrooms and that really
clean,
really expensive
subway tile.
Apartments. Ooh, a lot of chicken. The First Omen, you know, a lot of like dust and Italian nightclubs. Maybe it was already all set up. Maybe they didn't have to do much.
Yes, maybe we can cross it off the list. Who knows?
Lisa Frankenstein, throwbacks to the 80s.
Yeah.
And all of those attentions to detail that make you want to feel like, you know, you're at prom in the 80s.
Lots of like really saturated pigmentation.
Alien Romulus, that was pretty incredible because it was like a recreation of the old Alien sets. And a lot of it was practical effects as opposed to like CGI. So that was pretty incredible. Beetlejuice. Also like really great production design. Honestly, like that might have been one of the best things about that movie.
Yeah. And it had a lot of different sets too, because they really did jump from location to location.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just do this because this was the thing that I remembered about the movie the most. So I'm gonna give it to Beetlejuice.
Nice.
And the reason why is because of all of those sets of the underworld.
Yeah.
Shrunken Head Dude's office and the subways.
The train station, yeah.
My close second would probably be Alien Romulus, but I am a little biased because I did get to work on a TV show that did like a Beetlejuice
That's true.
inspired set for one of our challenges. So I'm going to give it to Beetlejuice. You know what?
Yeah.
F it.
I agree with that decision. I feel like although it had some flaws, I did enjoy the set pieces, the attention to detail in every single different location that they went to.
Yeah. And, you know, I surprised myself with that decision. I did not think that I would be awarding anything to Beetlejuice. But anyways, all right.
It is nominated for other things.
All right. The next category for our G.A.S.H awards, or G.A.S.H ceremony, I should say, would be the second kidney movie. So we do give out a second kidney award. That is an award for a character in a movie, alive or dead. But this is for the entire movie. Your nominees for the second kidney movie are Longlegs, which would be a prequel with Longlegs. Exuma, a spin-off with Warim and Bongil. Abigail, a spin-off with Peter and Sammy.
Oh, I liked them.
Alien Romulus, a spin-off with Andy, the lovable android. Humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person, sequel with all of the vamp cast.
Let's see here. Longlegs, Exuma, Abigail, Alien Romulus, and Humanist Vampire. I really did enjoy the relationship between Peter and Sammy and Abigail. Sammy played by Catherine Newton and Peter played by Kevin Durand. The muscle. They had really good chemistry in that movie. So I wouldn't mind seeing like a spin-off in which they're like going on a heist or something. I don't know. They're great together.
It's like an Ocean's 11 with those two.
Actually, there was a movie like that after that one movie by Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder. Anyway, the one like Army of the Dead. He had a spin-off of some characters in that movie, but it was not a horror movie. It was like a bank heist movie.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. But there was a character that knew how to break into safes. Yes,
the plural of safes is saves.
That would make sense. English is weird. But the character that knew how to break into a safe was in a spin-off that was not related to horror or zombies.
Huh.
It was like a prequel. It was interesting. I didn't see it. Anyway.
It was interesting. I didn't see it.
It was interesting that it was made, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, my award goes to Humanist Vampire.
Humanist Vampire. All right. That means that you want to see a sequel to that movie.
I do. I thought all the vampire cast was like pretty cute and quirky and reminded me of a vampire version of the Royal Tenenbaums.
I was just going to say that. Wes Anderson, I don't know. What is that? Dry humor?
Dry, quirky humor.
Yeah.
Like a sad comedy.
Sad comedy. Okay.
Yeah.
Next category in our G.A.S.H ceremony.
You get the big one.
Oh, wow. Do I get the mega award?
This
Looks like I won.
Kind of like a mega award. There are 10 nominees for this one. And I think
Is this best picture?
No, it's not. I think you're going to like it. It's best scene songs.
Best scene songs.
And we've had whole episodes on scene songs. There are 10 nominated. We could have just had a whole episode on this. Number 1 is from the movie Azrael. It's a fight scene set to the song of Runaway from International Music System. Number 2, Cuckoo has a scene with the song Inside Out by Mark Dupont. Y2K has a scene set to the song of Back at One by Brian McKnight.
Potato's trying to get her input here.
Do you like the porta potty scene from Y2K? She does.
Maybe I should decide on how many meows Potato gives to each nominee.
Yeah, she's given 3 to Y2K so far. The next one is from Maxine. It's a nightclub scene set to Welcome to the Pleasure Dome from Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Abigail, that Blood and Tears by Danzig. Next one is Founders Day, a fantastic montage set to We Want More by Keep Shelly in Athens. The Substance, Sue's Workout set to Pump It Up by Earl Gregory. Beetlejuice, MacArthur Park by Donna Summer, The Wedding Dance.
That was over the top.
It was very over the top, and I think they played the entire song. In Humanist Vampire, we have Emotions by Brenda Lee. Very sweet little scene song. From the movie Mads, Computerstadt by Abwärts. It's
a great opener.
The opening scene, the drug-induced shadow boxing, then driving in a car scene.
And this is a tough category because not only do you have to consider the song, but you also have to consider the scene and maybe
how well it's choreographed and edited with the scene.
Yeah, maybe its importance in the scene or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot of things that go into this.
In a way, it's kind of like an editing award.
Kind of, yeah. In the movie Mads, like that was probably the only way to do that sort of opener was to have a really energetic song. And Computerstadt by Abwärts is like a German punk-ish song, maybe like a post-punk song. I don't think that opener would have worked with any other type of song. So that was like a good choice there. The Emotions by Humanist Vampire. I mean, that was cute. The Beetlejuice thing. I don't know if I enjoyed that as much as some did. It was funny, but I thought it was just like a little much.
It was definitely not a Deo kind of a song.
Yeah. The Pump It Up by Substance, that was definitely catchy. I was definitely like singing that for like days after. Founders Day, We Want More. That was just like ridiculous.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah. Abigail's Blood and Tears. That was a great scene. That actually like the song and the scene together really like heightened that moment in the movie.
That was a scene that I think solidified my liking of the movie overall.
Yeah. And then let's see, Maxine's Welcome to the Pleasure Dome. That was just like a cool scene.
It was cool.
Back to One, Brian McKnight. That was funny.
That was funny.
Porta potty scene.
Yeah, it was a highlight of the movie.
Cuckoo with the Inside Out, Mark Dupont. That was like a cool song.
It was cool, and it was, I think, played repeatedly because it heightened the one of the aspects of the movie.
Right. And I think that was maybe my favorite song out of all of these on the list.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say the Azrael Fight and Runaway to International Music System. That was probably the most unexpected.
Yeah.
Like I would have never expected that song to be in that movie.
Because for the most part, the movie's pretty devoid of speaking, but you get this crazy scene song.
I think I know what my winner is going to be, but I just wanted to mention that, you know, at the Academy Awards, they don't really give you a rationale as to why they choose the winners. So that's what's so special about the G.A.S.H Awards.
Not the G.A.S.H, we give you a reason.
Yeah, they just give speeches out to the nominees. Like, you know,
they just started doing that. I don't like that.
Cuckoo, you were inside out the moment I saw you, and I've had the pleasure of being cuckoo with you too. I couldn't think of a better speech.
No, that's good.
The award for Best Scene Song at the G.A.S.H Awards goes to Runaway by International Music System in the movie Azrael.
Wow.
And the reason why I chose that is because not only was it unexpected, but the action scene was really good. The song was really good. And I think it's actually one of the elements of that movie that made me enjoy the movie.
I think that's a good choice. It did really amplify the scene. When we have these scene songs, we're looking for, does this song support the scene? And that one really does support the scene in Azrael. I would have not chosen that one. My first choice would have gone to Abigail.
It was very close because I feel like, yeah, that was such a solid scene song.
The editing during that scene was really good because it was going back and forth between two different characters, both dancing simultaneously to the song. But I do applaud your choice as well.
Azrael, that is what I liked about the movie. I liked that scene
Azrael.
Song. All right, that was kind of long-winded for that one, but yeah, there was a lot to that. That was an important award because we really care about scene songs.
I mean, that could have been a whole episode. So the fact that we whittled it down to like 5 minutes is good.
The next category in the Gutted Award for Snubbed Horror is for Best Creature / Monster. All right, we're getting to some good ones. The nominees for Best Creature / Monster go to Demi's Gollum in The Substance.
Yeah, the Demi Moore Gollum creature.
Yeah.
And not the Monstro Alyssa Sue. Or Alyssa Sue Monstro. This is when Demi Moore looks like Gollum.
Baby teen xenomorph in Alien Romulus. That weird little baby teen hybrid.
I mean, he wasn't little.
Little head.
Big gangly teen xenomorph.
Speaking of little, though, the little stop motion creature from Stop Motion.
That was cute.
Pretty cute.
Pretty cute.
More little monsters. Daddy's Head creature from Daddy's Head.
Very weird.
The size of a head. That's still kind of little. Okay, and not little. From Smile 2, the smile creature at the end. That one was not little. Okay,
not little.
So, but it was happy, I guess. And the next, which actually could be confused for the Smile 2 creature, is the Arcadian monster.
Oh,
somewhere in between a smile creature and like a Quiet Place.
Day one creature?
Yeah, like kind of in between those. And then we have Johnny in A Violent Nature. Is he a creature or monster?
I think he's a creature.
He's not just like a risen dead dude.
He's either a creature or a villain. And I wouldn't call him a villain because villains, I feel like, have more of a performance.
Okay.
Whereas Johnny didn't really have a performance. He was a monster.
All right. So Johnny, you're in there with, actually, yeah, it makes sense because we have Demi's Gollum creatures, like kind of a, creature monster. Yeah. Okay. I got it.
Okay. Let's see here. And this is a tough category because we're looking at some practical effects, some makeup here. Overall, how did we feel about it? I feel like for me, it's close between the baby awkward teen xenomorph and the little stop motion creature.
So is it going to be big or small?
Is it going to be like the biggest, tallest thing that there was, or the cutest, tiniest little thing that there was, but also like really creepy? Oof.
Potato wants to be here for this award.
I know. The baby teen xenomorph was like one of the creepiest things about Alien Romulus. But the little stop motion creature was like the most standout and memorable thing of stop motion for me. I'm going to give it to the little stop motion creature. That was an original creature. From what I heard, the baby teen xenomorph appeared in a previous Alien movie.
Which we have not seen. Like the only one we haven't seen.
I know.
Great choice. We have the tiniest creature is the one that wins.
Yeah, it was cute. Little stop motion creature. It's like seared in my head. Like I can't forget the little creature.
Stop motion. I'm glad it got some recognition because that was a fun one.
Good job, stop motion.
Yeah.
Our next category is the best finale, aka the large intestine, the final stop and most satisfying end.
The Substance.
Not nominated. Sorry. Immaculate.
Oh, okay.
Azrael.
Similar situation there.
Under Paris, which you did not see.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't. I'll admit it.
Your monster. I showed you the ending.
Yeah. You were like, is it okay if I spoil this for you? And I was like, yeah.
Because it's kind of a musical. I knew that he wouldn't want to watch it anyway, but I wanted him to see the last scene. Not
that I'm against musicals. I've been a little busy. I haven't seen it.
Long Legs or Smile 2?
Wait, but Long Legs, the finale?
Okay, I'm counting for Long Legs. I'm counting to the point where Harker goes to her partner's home.
Not to spoil it too much.
Not spoiling too much, but that ending scene at Blair Underwood's home.
Okay, gotcha. I will not give details on what actually happens, but the final stop and most satisfying end.
AKA the large intestine.
Satisfying or like shocking?
Whichever end you feel like was most...
Giving it to Under Paris. Just kidding. I didn't see that. Smile 2 was a really fun movie. It had a lot of flaws, but I feel like the end scene itself was kind of cool. Long Legs. Yeah, that end scene was like kind of creepy.
And the acting in it was really good too.
Are you trying to sway my decision?
No, I'm just saying I loved the lines between Blair Underwood's character and the character that played his wife.
Without having seen any of the other movie, the end of Your Monster was also like kind of fun. I'm just gonna assume that the end of Under Paris is that like everything just gets nuked. So maybe to that. Azrael and Immaculate kind of had similar end scenes.
One was cuter than the other.
That's true. I've made my decision.
Okay.
And the award for best finale, or the large intestine award, goes to Immaculate.
Wow.
Wow, it's a shocker. It's
What a
just like when
shocker.
Shakespeare and Love went under Saving Private Ryan. Can't believe it. I chose Immaculate because that finale was satisfying.
Yeah.
In a way, it was the end cathartic release, and I thought was maybe one of the best scenes of the movie.
Yeah.
If you've seen it, then you know. I'm not going to spoil it. I won't talk about it too much, but yeah, that's what I gave it to. I'm going to give it to Immaculate.
I think that's a good decision. I probably would have given it to Azrael, which was kind of a similar ending.
But cuter. You know, when in doubt, go with cute. I didn't have doubt. I thought that final scene from Immaculate really stuck out to me.
Yeah, I agree. That was a good one.
Well,
that's why it's nominated.
You know, my close second might have been Smile 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I was going for Azrael, and then second was Long Legs for me. But I do think a lot of these nominees in this category, they all had potential to be the winner.
We don't know how it's going to go with the G.A.S.H ceremonies. So, you know, there's a lot of surprises going on here. Yeah.
Wow.
And also, like, when you don't have a lot of time to think about it and you're just in the moment, you're like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. And then as soon as we stop recording, we're like, damn it.
No, Under Paris, robbed.
Okay, moving along. Our next category is Best Original Song. And your nominees are New Brain, performed by Naomi Scott as Sky Riley from Smile 2. Blood on White Satin, also performed by Naomi Scott or Sky Riley from Smile 2.
Impressive.
We have Save Me, performed by Salika, also known as Lady Raven in Trap. And then we have La Mesita del Comador, performed by Bambiquina from The Coffee Table. La Mesita del Comador means the coffee table. The final nominee, My Stranger, performed by Melissa Barrera from Your Monster.
Yeah, and she does belt that one out. That's part of her final scene, and she's a huge reason why she was nominated for that finale.
Here you go. What's it going to be? What's going to take home the G.A.S.H?
I was very impressed with Melissa Barrera's belting out of My Stranger at the end of Your Monster. That scene perhaps made the movie for me. La Mesita del Comador, it's the title of the movie, and I like it when movies have that original song that is the title of the movie and also the title of that song. That's kind of fun. Salika did a great job performing Save Me and myriad other songs during Trap.
Good to have a little bit of nepotism in your movies.
And you know what? She did a great job. Nepotism or not. My vote is going for New Brain, performed by Naomi Scott as Sky Riley in Smile 2.
Wow. And the choreograph scene to that,
Yeah.
which she's practicing, that was
Yeah,
cool.
her rehearsal of New Brain.
That's how you got to make it in movies these days. You have to be a legit pop star. The movie is basically made around having an album. Yeah, good choice.
Thank you.
A lot of great elements to Smile 2. It just couldn't quite crack our top 10, but it was an overall enjoyable movie.
Yeah. Best Ensemble.
Best Ensemble.
I really like the category of Best Ensemble. I know other awards ceremonies have Best Ensemble, but the Oscars does not.
They need to.
They need to. Best Ensemble. We have 5 nominated. Will it go to Abigail, Y2K, Cuckoo, Exuma, or Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person?
These are all great nominees for ensemble. Wow. How do I decide?
I know.
The humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person. We had the really fun cousin and like the quirky parents
JP.
and Oh yeah, the side characters. That was good. Exuma, we had the really great relationship between the Geo, what do they call them?
Geomancer and the shaman.
Yeah.
And her assistant.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Cuckoo, Dan Stevens, the little sister.
The little sister was great. Hunter Schafer was great.
Yeah, and then that guy who's like the fake detective.
And I liked the employees at the hotel and Ed.
Yeah, that was a great ensemble too. Y2K, it just makes me laugh. And Abigail. You know what? My award for best ensemble cast goes to Abigail.
Thank goodness.
Yes. Kevin Durand, Melissa Barrera,
Catherine Newton, Dan Stevens again.
Dan Stevens. Yeah. Dan Stevens will do you well for an ensemble. He's a team player when it comes to movies.
Nice.
Apparently.
Apparently. All right.
I always enjoy Dan Stevens in a horror movie.
The Guest.
I didn't see that until last year, but I enjoyed it. The next award category, Best Supporting Performance. And the nominees are Nolan, played by Percy Daggs IV from Never Let Go. Andy, played by David Johnson from Alien Romulus. Sammy, played by Catherine Newton in Abigail. Peter, played by Kevin Durand from Abigail. Julia, played by Lucille Guillaume in Mads. Josephine, played by Katarina Unt in Azrael. Luz, played by Maria Caballero from The First Omen. Or Taffy, played by Liza Soberano from Lisa Frankenstein.
Okay, man, these supporting roles were so good. Initially, when Taffy showed up on screen, I was like, ugh, she's annoying. But she really showed a lot of depth to her character, even though initially she does seem two-dimensional. She really appears to care for, I think it's her cousin, Lisa. So she does a great job. Luce, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, who is that lady? She looks like a younger Elizabeth Taylor. Even though Katarina Unt didn't have any words in Azrael, she spoke volumes with her eyes. And she wasn't just a villain. She had a lot of like inner turmoil that she was emoting with just her face, which I thought was impressive. Julia from Mads, she did such a fun, great job being crazy on whatever substance it was that they consumed or that they were infected by. She was my favorite character in Mads. I loved every second that we got to follow her. Peter was so funny in Abigail. Sammy, played by Catherine Newton, again, great comedic timing. Andy, very lovable as the android. And Nolan, played by Percy Daggs IV, Never Let Go. Ugh, he made me cry. I would say it was close between Catherine Newton in Abigail and Percy Daggs IV and Never Let Go. But I'm going to give it to Catherine Newton in Abigail. I thought her comedic timing was just flawless. There were a lot of lines that she had. I would like think about it in my head, like just like seeing it written on the page, thinking that could potentially be a very whatever throwaway line, but her delivery of it was either like so unique or interesting or funny that I was really impressed with what she did with the actual lines that she had. Catherine Newton and Abigail.
All right. I love that I went to a computer hacker.
Our next award is for Best Cinematography. Nosferatu is not in this category because it was nominated for an Oscar.
Darn. You know, I actually would have given it to that because that had some really amazing cinematography.
It did.
It was better than a lot of other elements of the movie.
It was. Our actual nominees for this category are Strange Darling.
Oh, Giovanni
Ribisi. The Substance, which was not nominated for cinematography. Mads or Longlegs. And the reason Longlegs is nominated because it had a lot of creeping shots where maybe you didn't see things initially at first glance and then you did later on.
For those who haven't seen Mads, this is a horror movie that's shot in one long take. So it's pretty impressive. Strange Darling, that was shot on 35 millimeter by Giovanni Ribisi. Wow. The Substance, there were definitely a lot of really interesting shots.
A lot of interesting angles.
Close-ups of eating shrimp.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Longlegs would probably be like more of the sort of like art house kind of thing, different aspect ratios and framing. I'm going to give this award to, you know what? I'm going to give this to The Substance.
What an upset. Interesting.
I feel like the cinematography played a role in the actual movie itself, like all of those close-up shots and those music video fisheye lens up in your face. The camera was kind of like a little intrusive and just like,
especially during that workout chicken butt scene.
Yeah, I'm giving it to The Substance.
Okay,
yeah. All right.
Nice.
The Substance wins.
Man, Mads and Giovanni are robbed.
I know. I really did want to give it to Giovanni, but I probably could have. I don't know. Who knows why I'm choosing what I'm choosing? I'm just going with the flow here.
Hey, you don't have to have a reason. Your gut feeling said The Substance. I might have said Mads. Even though Mads, I don't think was a perfect movie, I did think the cinematography was pretty impressive and a lot of the tricks they used to keep the viewer engaged for this movie that is just one long shot and having multiple locations, not just being at like one house party for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Like they traveled many miles throughout France in this film, and I was impressed by that.
That was an impressive movie. Yeah, I gave it to The Substance, and there's no going back.
No going back. Good job, Substance.
It won something.
You got it.
It did win something in the actual Academy Awards. I think it won Best Makeup.
It did win Best Hair and Makeup.
It's now in the legacy of American Werewolf in London.
And now it has a G.A.S.H award for cinematography.
Next award. Ooh, this is a big one. Wow. Okay. The Bronze Gut for lead protagonist.
So the reason why it is a bronze gut is because we've already given gold and silver guts to lead performance during our best of episode in January.
We gave Elizabeth Sparkle, played by Demi Moore, the silver gut. It also received an Oscar nomination, which we felt that she should have won. She was definitely the big snub of the Academy Awards. And then I had actually given my golden gut to the lady played by Willa Fitzgerald from Strange Darling, which was a brilliant film, brilliant performance, and well-deserved of the golden gut. But this is for the bronze gut. So there are a lot of other performances that should be recognized. And here are the nominees. From the movie Heretic, Sister Paxton, played by Chloe East. From the movie Front Room, Belinda, played by Brandy Norwood, aka Brandy. From the movie Cuckoo, we have Gretchen, played by Hunter Schafer. From the movie First Omen, we have Margaret, played by Nell Tiger Free. From Late Night with the Devil, we have talk show host, played by David Dastmalchian, which also won a Fangoria Chainsaw Award for his performance. From the movie Exuma, we have Hwa Rim, played by Kim Go-eun. I apologize for mispronouncing that name. From Smile 2, we have Sky Riley, played by Naomi Scott. From The Coffee Table, we have Jesus, played by David Pareja. From The Coffee Table, we have Maria, played by Estefania de los Santos. And from the movie Sleep, we have Hyun Soo, aka the husband, played by Lee Sun Kyun. That's quite the list.
It is.
That's going to be a tough one to decide. I'm going to take my final sip of wine.
Okay. I really did love all of these performances. I just had to do a little shout out for Maria, played by Estefania de los Santos. She's nominated for her incredible laugh. She reminds me of Mercedes McCambridge, the voice of Pazuzu in The Exorcist. She has just this wonderful, raspy, cackling laugh that lasts for, it seems like 10 minutes. And I was so impressed. I often think that laughing in a genuine way seems more challenging than crying in movies. She does a great job with that. However, I think I'm going to have to give this to Naomi Scott, who plays Sky Riley in Smile 2.
Wow.
Man,
she did carry that movie.
She carried the entire movie. Her performance in this movie just seems so exhausting. She makes me tired watching her.
Yeah.
She seems like she's going to like vomit with fear in almost every other scene.
Yeah.
She looks like she's unraveling and she has to perform and be a pop star at the same time.
She's singing, she's dancing, she's doing all the things. Sky Riley, Naomi Scott, well deserved.
Yes.
Great performance in Smile 2.
Next category, We have Best Directing. Not as many as the last category, but we do have quite a few. Chris Nash for In a Violent Nature, Arkasha Stevenson for First Omen, Matt Bettinelli Olpin and Tyler Gillett from Abigail, Osgood Perkins for Long Legs, JT Molnar for Strange Darling, Ty West for Maxine, Ariane Louis-C's for Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person. We do not have Coralie Farjat for The Substance because she was already nominated for an Oscar.
She also should have won. We didn't mention that, but yeah.
I know. Despite me not liking the ending, I feel like that it's not so much a directing flaw, that's more of a writing flaw.
Well, she did write it as well, right?
I don't count that though. As far as directing, she directed a fantastic film.
Man, this is really tough because there's some really great movies and some really great directing. You know, I am going to give this to Osgood Perkins for Long Legs. Just an overall great movie. If the directing is bringing everything together and making it work really well, then he did a great job. Did Strange Darling win our best film of 2024? Yeah, I don't know how that's decided. Anyways, I just went with Osgood Perkins.
That's who you went for. I probably would have gone for JT Molnar for Strange Darling because I did love everything about that movie. I loved the color, the performances, the editing of the chapters.
Yeah, that is true.
That was one of my favorite parts of the movie was the asynchronous chapters. But I did think that Osgood Perkins did a fantastic job with Long Legs.
Yeah, just a really solid horror film. One of the memorable horror films of 2024. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret not giving it to JT Molnar. But
JT snubbed.
Within the snubbed awards, there are many snubs.
Gut reactions.
Exactly. You know, sometimes your gut reactions are like you make the decision and then minutes later you're like, damn it, I should have changed it.
Nope.
Oh, well, that's what we do. The next category, the Good Buddy Gallbladder.
Oh.
Can live without it, but offers support. What does that mean?
Well, I'm just justifying why this is the gallbladder award. You don't need your gallbladder, but it does support your system.
Yeah, so this is an award for the best pet. And there are 4 nominations.
I got rid of one because I don't think it was really a real animal. I think it was a creation.
Oh, okay. Okay, the nominees for the best Good Buddy Gallbladder go to Frodo the cat in Quiet Place Day 1, the cat that refused to die.
And also did not mind being wet in every other scene.
Darwin, the yellow parrot from The Watchers. Coda the dog from Never Let Go.
Oh, man.
Very sad.
Tearjerker.
Yeah, what a tearjerker performance.
Yeah.
Or Bella the dog from Daddy's Head.
Very brave.
Brave
dog, Bella. You suggested that spider from Sting.
Yeah.
But upon more research, I don't think that was a real spider.
Well, yeah, it was a giant spider.
Well, it eventually was a giant spider, but at first I think I read that it was based off of the Australian redback spider. But reading that it was based off of that spider, I thought, well, was it not a real spider? Anyway,
It doesn't matter.
because I didn't know if it was actually a real spider in the movie, then I took it off the list.
Snubbed.
Sorry, spider. Even though I just sobbed during this scene with Coda the dog. And it's a huge reason why Percy Daggs IV got nominated for supporting actor, because him and that dog, I was just like, very emotional. The two of them together. Ooh, amazing. But my award goes to Frodo the cat from Quiet Place Day 1. Huge reason why I liked that movie. And maybe nobody else did.
Is it because you like cats?
I love cats. I mean, obviously, that cat was just amazing. Such a great support animal for
That's true.
Lupita Nyong'o's character.
That cat was special because it did things that no cat would ever do. For one, care about the owner, followed it around all around town and didn't just bolt, was swimming underwater.
Held its breath for minutes.
Frodo, congratulations.
Good job, Frodo. Love you.
What a performance.
Great performance.
What a performance.
That should be a category in the Oscars.
I think so too.
Best animal.
Yeah, people always get upset when an animal dies as opposed to when a human dies in a movie.
The Banshees of Inisherin, that cat, not the cat, that dog, no, the donkey Jenny did an amazing job.
You didn't know if it was a cat, a dog, or a donkey?
No, I'm sorry. The donkey in the Banshees of Inisherin did an amazing job. And also the dog Snoop in Anatomy of a Fall did an amazing job.
Yeah.
That dog deserved a nomination. It looked like it was actually seizing and dying. How did they do that? Amazing. Also, shout out to the dog in Dial Code Santa. Anyway, best hair and makeup on this list is not The Substance because it actually won an Oscar.
So it did not get snubbed.
It did not get snubbed. Woohoo. But your nominees are Smile 2, Abigail, Lisa Frankenstein, Beetlejuice, or Maxine.
Ooh, best hair and makeup?
Hair and makeup.
Hair and makeup.
Yeah. Yes.
It has nothing to do with costume. Doesn't hair and makeup awards usually go to like whoever does the most prosthetics? Like the Nutty Professor. Did that ever win?
I'm sure it did.
What was nominated at the actual Academy Awards for best hair and makeup?
A different man, not a better man.
Oops.
Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, and Wicked were the other nominees.
Oh, so we didn't include Nosferatu on here because it was nominated.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It was nominated.
Because I would have said, I would have said Nosferatu for sure.
But nominated, so not snubbed. And The Substance won, not snubbed.
In Maxine, we have general 80s hair and makeup.
Lots of cool makeup. I mean, she had that one scene in the Pleasure Dome scene with like the red band
cool.
across the eyes.
Yeah.
That was a cool makeup design.
Beetlejuice. There was definitely a lot of hair
and makeup.
Lisa Frankenstein, a lot of hair teased.
A lot of hair teased, but also that dead boy.
Yeah.
A lot of dead makeup.
Yeah, that was all right. Abigail, a lot of vampires, a lot of blood.
That teeth in Abigail.
Someone swimming around in like that decayed pool water, and then they got out, and I'm sure they had to have makeup on for that. And then Smile 2. Louis Fergoli
looked, I don't know, sweaty and drugged out. And Naomi Scott, aka Sky Riley, had a lot of makeup.
That's true. Huh. You know what? I'm going to give my best hair and makeup award to Maxine. There, I did it. She had a cool style. I like the 80s hair. I like the 80s makeup.
It wasn't like just one look the whole time. Like her look changed throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of side characters that also had their hair and makeup done to look like the 80s.
Yep.
Good attention to detail.
Yeah. So Maxine, you did it.
Got something.
And I didn't just give it to it because it hadn't won anything yet.
Oh.
In case you were wondering.
It's all for that red makeup band.
Kind of. Yeah. Well,
scene.
actually, okay. Best hair and makeup, because it had a scene where she was getting her head cast.
I was wondering.
And it was like, an actual scene of a makeup artist doing the thing. And that was a cool scene.
Yeah, very gloppy.
Okay. The next award for best score, the nominees are Exuma, score done by Kim Tae-sung. The Substance, score by Rafferty. The First Omen, score by Mark Corvin. Lisa Frankenstein, score by Isabella Summers. Azrael, score by Totti Gudnason. Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person, score by Pilu.
Oh man, I did love a lot of these score creators this year. The ending song in Azrael by Totti Gudnason was so creepy and it sounded like throat singing throughout the song. However, it was really just that one song during the credits that I really liked. The Substance, Rafferty, very iconic. Pilu in Humanist Vampire, it was very like quirky, creeping. I think I'm going to give it to Kim Tae-sung for Exuma.
Oh, that's what I would have given it to as well. Yeah.
It's such, even though I do think it's like really just this one song that they may have played multiple times, it's such like an uplifting, hopeful, climactic song that I could listen to over and over again.
Yeah, I agree. Exuma.
Exuma got something.
Its first G.A.S.H award.
Yay, Exuma.
Only a couple left.
Ooh, I think we only have like 3 categories left.
Okay.
Tony, what is going to get the silver gut for villain? We already have given an award to Solange from The Front Room, played by Catherine Hunter, who did an amazing performance as a villain in The Front Room. She cannot receive another award. So this is a silver gut for villain. Your choices are Longlegs, played by Nicolas Cage in Longlegs. Art the Clown, played by David Howard Thornton in Terrifier 3. Abigail, played by Alicia Weir in Abigail. Mr. Reed, played by Hugh Grant in Heretic. Cooper, played by Josh Hartnett in Trap.
Cooper.
And Agyar, played by John Sklaroff in Little Bites.
Wow.
The vampire.
Such a great collection of villains here. These are non-spoilery villains, right? So these are villains who we know are villains.
We
right
know
off
going
the bat.
into it, they are the bad person.
Yeah.
And I did not include Nosferatu from Nosferatu.
Why?
Because I didn't like him.
This one I think is fairly easy for me. It is kind of like between Longlegs and Art the Clown, but I'm going to give my silver gut for non-spoilery villain to Longlegs, played by Nicolas Cage.
Agreed.
Yes, for his mommy daddy performance, Hail Satan, all of that. Very creepy.
Very creepy and very full Nicolas Cage. I agree. I too would have given it to Nicolas Cage and Longlegs. Just want to give a little shout out to Alicia Weir, who plays Abigail. I was not expecting to enjoy her performance because often when we have younger actors in a leading role, that's a tough task for younger actors to pull off, but she did an amazing job. But congrats, Nicolas Cage.
Congratulations. That is the first nomination and award for Nicolas Cage for a Gutted Snubbed Award for horror. I'm trying to do the Oscar thing, you know?
Yeah.
We have 2 awards left. First Aid Kit, and the First Aid Kit award is for a character who has died that we are bringing back to life.
So this is a bit of a spoilery category. So maybe we should read the movie title first and then the character.
Let's begin. Maxine is the first nominee, and it is the character Leon, the video store friend, played by Moses Sumney. Our next nominee is from the movie Y2K, and we have Danny, or the best friend, played by Julian Dennison. Next movie is Under Paris. Oh man, I didn't see this. It's spoiled for me. Just kidding. I don't really care. And it's the character Ben, or the hacker friend. You did not put the actor.
Oops.
Oh well. The next movie is Terrifier 3. And you just put brother.
I was running out of time.
All right. The next movie is Strange Darling. And you put older hippie doomsdayer couple.
Yeah. Enough said.
The next movie I did not see, so another spoiler for me, but oh well. It is the movie Don't Move. And it's the character Bill / old tough guy, played by Moray Treadwell.
Put that name, see?
The next movie is Beetlejuice, and the character is Bob. Oh. So sad.
It was
I forgot that Bob died. Oh my God. That's kind of
like
funny.
sad and shocking. I was just like, what?
That's messed up, man. Whoever made that decision should just be erased from movies. You can no longer be a producer or writer.
But then they have like an in memoriam at the end of the credits.
Oh, man.
Oh, this category. Okay, so the movie Don't Move was not the best movie, but I did really love this old guy character. And I was like, oh man, I want to like make Tony watch this movie just for this character. I really did love the best friend, Leon from Maxine. And I felt like he was underutilized and I feel like he was off too soon. So that was kind of a bummer. Oh, am I going to give it to Bob?
Sorry, it's making me like cough and choke.
Because when Bob died, I was just like, what? But
so you want to bring back Bob?
Do I want them to bring him back? I feel like the fact that he died was so impactful. So maybe I don't want to bring him back because I do love that I get to think about him and how he died so tragically and wrongly. But they did have a shout out for him. The in memoriam was kind of funny. I'm going to give it to Leon, the video store best friend from Maxine. Yeah,
I agree.
That's who I'm giving it to.
Yeah.
Gone too soon. I mean, they didn't have to have him live the whole time, but he didn't have to die that quickly. I wanted more from him.
Yeah. The other thing I would mention about Terrifier 3, the brother, is I don't believe that he's dead.
Yeah, and I think his character's name is Jonathan, right? For the purpose of that movie, he was dead.
Yeah.
So they might bring him back in a subsequent movie.
Yeah, I feel like they are going to.
Moses Sumney gets it because I just felt like that was one of my complaints actually about Maxine. Even though I loved the movie, one of my complaints was that they killed that character too soon.
Yeah. Okay. The final category for our G.A.S.H ceremony.
Okay. It's going to be something lame like sound. Sorry.
I thought you
sound
cut that out.
I did. Oh, okay. It is best costume. And it is not going to include Nosferatu because that was nominated for an Oscar.
Oh, man.
So your 4 other choices are Lisa Frankenstein, Maxine, Beetlejuice, or Smile 2.
Ooh, okay. I think that's an easy one for me. I'm going to give best costume to Maxine.
Wow, nice.
That's not what you had, was it?
No, actually, I think I was thinking of Maxine.
For me, I would say like the fashion and that 80s style, but not like cliched 80s style. Something like Lisa Frankenstein. I don't know. Maybe that was an accurate 80s representation, but it was more of like the Madonna 80s. Where
it seemed like cartoonish 80s.
Yeah. Maxine had more of like a range. I enjoyed that a lot, you know?
No, actually, I think that's what I would have chosen as well.
Maxine gets my award and gets the final award of the Gutted Awards for Snubbed Horror.
Wait, Potato's not done yet. She's running in here with one.
What was snubbed, Potato? What was snubbed?
The mouse? She brought a mouse. She's giving it to Frodo the cat. We gave it to Frodo the cat.
Potato, we gave the award to Frodo the cat.
Frodo the cat
You don't have to worry.
She wasn't here though, so she missed that part.
Okay. Wow, I can't believe we got through all of that. Let's recap what were some of the notable snubs within our own snub. Oh, you know what? We didn't mention the Best Intestines Award. Because we had already given this in our Best of 2024, and it went to the yoga lady from In a Violent Nature.
I originally did have nominations, but I was like, who are we kidding? We already gave it to the yoga lady. We had included a scene from Maxine, the car smashing scene. We included the shower scene from Terrifier 3, the self-emulsion and hanging scene from The First Omen. But yeah, yoga lady got it.
So what were some of the biggest snubs from here? I found a snub, and it's one that kind of I chose, but it's the Blood and Tears by Danzig. That was kind of a snub.
Snubbed. Oh, you chose Azrael.
Yeah, I chose
That's a good one, though.
Biggest snub of the night was definitely, of course, I'm a bloody doctor from Speak No Evil. I was repeating that line from the trailer, and then when I saw it in the movie, it just filled my heart with joy.
Well, then I'm glad that I got that award, that category, because I love Get Dirty Flirty Little Angel Bitch.
Okay.
Frodo the Cat, not snubbed. Maybe JT Molnar for Strange Darling was snubbed for directing.
That was a snub. I feel like most of my decisions were snubs.
No, overall, we did a pretty good job honoring the films of 2024.
Yes. Thus capping the year 2024. Finally, in the month of March, we can put 2024 to rest and now start focusing on 2025.
Yeah, but we'll probably get this edited by April. So who knows? But hey, no rules.
What are you thinking about 2025 so far in terms of horror?
I mean, we haven't seen very much. We've seen Companion, Hard Eyes, and something else.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw The Monkey. I kind of fell asleep, though, not because it was bad, because I was tired. I have enjoyed Hard Eyes the most out of those 3.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed several elements of Companion.
We're off to a little bit of a slow start. Hopefully it's going to like pick up as we get into fall and as we get into spooky season. I feel like a lot of the movies that have come out have been decent, but nothing where I was just like, whoa, that's a good horror movie. So hopefully I'm hoping to be like
definitely
wowed.
No Founders Day so far. So still waiting.
Yeah. Aleece, any last takeaways from our Gutted Award for Snubbed Horror 2024?
I am glad that we get to honor so many horror movies that have been snubbed in general. Take that, Oscars. And other award ceremonies.
That's the end of our
the G.A.S.H
ceremony.
We had a bash.
But now we have to dash.
Because we don't have cash. Chris Nash is coming. He's not.
If you like what you heard and or seen, don't forget to like, subscribe, give us a rating, drop us an emoji in the comments section, tell a friend, phone us.
What?
Call the long legs number, see if it still works, and then
Yes.
email us and let us know.
Remind us to call it because I keep forgetting and I probably never will.
Let us know if you have suggestions for more categories for next year's
that
G.A.S.H
actually
award.
is a good idea. Suggest some categories. I tried to think of some good ones, but if you got some ideas. Oh, what's some of your snubs? What was snubbed for you?
Yes.
From us or from anyone?
Yeah, what did we snub from the selections? What would you have chosen? What are your biggest snubs in horror? Was it Nosferatu? We didn't show that a lot of love. Maybe that's the snub for you.
I probably did snub that too much.
We didn't snub it for cinematography. We both agreed that
We
it should've.
agreed that was snubbed. That was one of the big snubs of the Oscars.
Yeah. Thank you for watching and or listening. This has been another episode of Gutted.